Good afternoon, mariners. This is your Tropical Atlantic Marine Weather Briefing for Sunday, January the 25th, 2026. It will be valid through Friday, January the 30th, and it has been prepared by the Tropical Analysis and Forecast Branch at the National Hurricane Center. We'll start with the hazard summary for the next 5 days. The primary story for the next few days is a powerful Arctic cold front that will bring hazardous conditions to portions of the Gulf of America and our Atlantic waters from today into next week. Gale warnings are currently in effect for the Western Gulf today through Monday. Very rough seas are expected to build in the southwestern Gulf by late Monday, and elsewhere, no gales are expected for the tropical North Atlantic and the Caribbean regions. We'll start with the current conditions as of Sunday morning. There are two features of interest, the first of which is this powerful Arctic cold front that is rapidly pushing southward into the Gulf of America. Behind this front are strong northerly winds. These are the winds that are associated with the developing gale that is expected to persist this afternoon into tomorrow. The second feature of interest is a cold front in the extreme northern portion of our tropical Atlantic waters. Behind this front is an area of strong winds and an area of rough seas. As we move into Monday morning, you can see that the Arctic cold front has pushed off the southeast coast of the U.S. and throughout most of the Gulf. Behind the cold front is an area of strong winds throughout the Gulf, including an area of gale force winds in the extreme southwestern Gulf. Additionally, off the extreme northeastern coast of Florida, we may see some strong winds behind the front. In terms of seas, rough seas are covering almost the entire Gulf, including an area of very, very rough seas in the southwestern Gulf. By Tuesday morning, we expect that the front will have pushed further to the south and east, essentially from Bermuda all the way to the southwest across Cuba and down toward Belize. And behind the front, we still have an area of a very large area of strong winds extending from the western tropical Atlantic waters all the way down into the Gulf and the extreme northwestern Caribbean. Associated with that, we have a very large area again of rough seas, including some very rough seas persisting in the southwestern Gulf. Further to the east, you can see this large area of rough seas and some very rough seas in the extreme northeastern portion of our waters in the central Atlantic. Moving into Wednesday, conditions are generally expected to improve in the Gulf and the western North Atlantic waters as the cold front has stalled while positioned over the northwestern Caribbean, extending northeastward up to just south of Bermuda. Behind the cold front, we still do have an area of residual rough seas, as well as an area of rough seas in the extreme eastern portions of our waters. On Thursday, we begin to see the winds pick back up in the northwestern Caribbean, just to the northwest of the stalled cold front. And we also begin to see the impacts of yet another strong cold front pushing off of the southeast coast of the U.S. With an area of strong winds just offshore of northern Florida. And by Friday morning, conditions generally are improving throughout our waters, with the primary area of concern being an area of fresh to strong winds in the extreme northern portion of our tropical Atlantic waters to the south of Bermuda, with an associated area of rough to very rough seas in that region. To summarize, the primary focus in the next 5 days is a very strong cold front that's currently bringing gale conditions to the western Gulf and is expected to do so through Monday, with very rough seas building behind the front and creating very hazardous marine conditions in this portion of the western Gulf of America. Later in the week, a second strong cold front will enter the region, potentially bringing strong winds and rough seas. This concludes the Tropical Atlantic Marine Weather Briefing for Sunday, January the 25th. The next briefing will be Thursday, January the 29th. And of course, you can always get the latest information at hurricanes.gov/marine.